Hello, today we're going to discuss the Vonage Essentials platform. This is just a basic demo of some of the features that are available to the Vonage Essentials users and administrators. I'm going to start with the user experience and then I'll rotate over to the administrative side of things once we get through that. Again, this is just a basic demo. It doesn't cover all the features of the phone system. However, if you need a more in-depth demonstration based on features like call center, call recording, call monitoring, we can engage a sales engineer at that point to do a more in-depth demonstration of those features. So let's get started. We're going to start in the messaging section today, and our phone system allows you to do SMS messaging to cell phones, which there are some providers out there that allow that feature. However, they usually charge an exorbitant amount of money to do it. Ours is built into the system and it's included in the seat. So I actually have two different types of messaging in here. I have one at the bottom that's all in black, and that shows that it came from me and went to an endpoint. The one above it that's lit in blue is because it's a little special. It's an actual shared SMS box, and it's actually leveraging the auto attendant number. So that allows me as a company, for example, to go out and say, call or text us at 555-1212 as an example, and now that customer can reach out to us two different ways, and I can allow access to that number for a sales team, a marketing team, support team, whatever the case may be. And now when a customer calls, it goes to the virtual receptionist and then goes to an actual ring, or they can just simply pull out their phone and they can send a text message, and the entire team will get that message in blue that says they're requesting information or help or a marketing initiative, whatever the case may be, and someone from that team can quickly respond back, and everyone on the team will see that response. Now, the advantage that's going to give you is a couple of things. First off, you have an additional touch point with your customers, and a lot of customers like to text or email, so it gives you that extra communication point that they like to use already. And two, if that person that initially responds back to that inquiry goes on vacation or is out sick, you don't have to log in as them to find that communication and continue it. You can just simply respond to the chain as yourself and say, you know, Joe's out. I'm going to go ahead and complete this order for you. And it's all done from within this panel. To create a new message, you can just click on the new message icon up here, and you can quickly select which way you want to use to send out your message. Do you want to do it as yourself, or do you want to do it as the main auto attendant number? You can also delete the messages if you want to. For calling, there's a couple of features in here. First of all, you can see all your messages in here. You can actually select a date range or a specific DID to look for. You can filter it by inbound, outbound, missed, or recorded calls. In this case, if I'm looking at a recorded call, for example, I can actually play the recording, I can email it, and I can download it. So if I have a CRM like Salesforce, I can actually extract this call recording and I can attach it to that customer account as an additional touch point for compliance purposes. If I need to dial out a call, I can click on the dialer and actually dial the number I need to do. But most importantly is we have a feature in here called call flip, which allows me to flip the call from one presence to another. So if I'm using the desktop app like I'm showing you now on a desk phone, and maybe I'm using the mobile app on my mobile phone or my tablet, I can move that call interchangeably to any of those presents at any time, and there's no hold time, there's no music or anything like that. There's no indication to the customer that you've changed something. So it allows you to continue your call flow with the customer. If you're on your desk phone and you need to get up and go to the file cabinet for something, or you need to walk to the other end of the office, you can just grab your mobile app or your tablet or your iPod Touch, and you can say call flip, and it instantly moves that call into that device, and you can just carry on your conversation while you go get what you need to get, rather than putting them on hold or calling them back. So for the voicemail section, by default, each account comes with voicemail to email. So if a customer calls you and you don't answer the phone, they'll leave you a voicemail, which will show up into this app or the mobile app, or it will show up on your phone as an indicated new message, which you can dial into and retrieve. However, you will also, if you put your email address in there, it will also email you that voicemail message file to your email address, so you have another copy of it somewhere else and you can play it. So if you're at lunch or something and you get a call, you can just listen to the message. In this case, I've actually added the additional feature that you can get, which is transcription, which allows me to just quickly read what the message is. And again, just like with the actual recorded calls, I can download or email these files and attach them into a CRM tool for compliance purposes. Your favorite section is just a quick way for you to get at the customers or contacts that you speak with often. You can hover over their name and you can call and chat with them. You can remove them as a favorite. You can also delete them if you need to. In your contacts section, this is where you're going to see all your company directory as well as any local contacts that maybe you might have created. But you also can import a CSV file with all of your contact information so that you can quickly bring that information in from like a system like Outlook or something of that nature, and then you can quickly run a show duplicates. So if you manually entered the customer information and then you pulled a CSV in there, you might have a duplicate, so you can remove one of them. On top of that, you can also see the presence of the person on your directory if they're part of our phone system. So Arthur Wilson, for example, shows a green ring. That tells me he's available. He's not on a call. If he was on a call, it would show in red. Down below it here, you can see there's no ring because they're completely offline. But in either situation, I can call. If he's on the line with somebody, I can call him or I can send him a chat message and I can correspond with him. But I can also see if there's any voicemails that he left me for something. I can actually go in here and see those voicemails as well. So that gives you several options in there that you can play with. Now on the mobile app version of this piece that I'm showing you, you get the added benefit of you can see your local contacts on your cell phone as well. So if the contact you're trying to reach is in there, you can actually call them through this app as well. You can also sync those contacts if you want to into the phone system right from that mobile app. Another benefit that you get in the mobile app version is you also get the additional benefit in the messaging section of being able to attach documents into those messages. And when you're doing calls, you can also do video calling. So if I call Arthur Wilson because he's on my phone system, from mobile app to mobile app, I can actually do video calling as well. In your help and feedback section, you actually have quick access to our support site for self-help documentation. Like if you wanted to look up how to reprogram your Polycom phone or factory reset it, you could click on that and it will take you in there, and there's self-help documentation in there. If you want to look up hotkeys on how to park a call or how to initiate on-demand call recording, you can find that in there. Or you can simply call the 800 number and talk to the support guys, and they'll actually be able to help you with that as well. The system status link is actually so that you can see what our core infrastructure is looking like right now. So if you notice that there's some choppiness in your phone call, it could be because someone is actually on your network downloading something that's chewing up all your bandwidth, or it could be something on our end. You can actually click on here and check that first before you start looking on your internal system, and it'll tell you if there's a problem. If they're running an upgrade or there's system degradation, you'll see that, and you can actually look at the notes from our support team that tells you what the issue is and what they're doing to resolve it. The good news is, since we have redundant systems geographically located, 99% of the time you're not even going to know there's an issue, simply because we have such a robust redundant system. It's just going to fail over to one of those to eliminate that issue. Your business blog section is for industry type information for the UCaaS and CPaaS space. It's not specific to Vonage. It's from multiple vendors, multiple providers on what's coming, what's out there now, things of that nature. In your settings section, these are settings that pertain to this specific extension. So I can change my first and last name. I can change the email address. I can set my security question, change my password, things of that nature. I can add additional information in here for contacts. In your application, you can control what your ringtone sounds like, how you get your notifications. When you send messages, do you want it to default to a specific setting, or do you want it to ask every time? What receptionist do you want to use if you have access to them? Things of that nature. On the extension side of things, you can actually go in and enable your call screening, your call announce, things of that nature. You can set your never miss a call so that it'll, how long do you want the phone to ring before it goes to voicemail? After that, do you want it to forward all calls? Do you want it to follow you to another extension? Do you want to do a simultaneous ring to a cell phone or something like that? call blocking. If you're going to block calls in there, this is where it's going to show up. You can automatically block calls with no caller ID if you want to. But in here, you can also edit or even delete these rules if you need to. Your voicemail section allows you to go in and customize your voicemail pin, your email. If you want to send it to a different email, you can. You can also delete the voicemail from the system after you send it to your Outlook email or Google email, whatever the case may be, because you don't want it taking up space on the phone. That's fine. However, if you enable this, you will not see it in the apps anymore because it's removing it from the system. So that's why I have it unchecked in my demo so that you can actually see all the functions. You can also custom record your greetings in here, and you can also set a holiday greeting or an out-of-office greeting that will supersede everything until you uncheck this. So that's kind of a handy feature to have. I can quickly, as a user or as an admin, see what devices are assigned to me. I can assign new devices to myself. As an admin, I can remove devices as well. So that can help you out if you broke your phone and you get a new phone provided to you by IT, but it's not provisioned. You can go in and quickly just add the MAC address, select what type of phone you have, and give it a name. Everything else will be automatically set, and it will also give you setup instructions for those devices if you need to do manual things on the phone. It will actually take you to the documentation with screenshots and walk you through step by step. So it's very intuitive. The web launcher system allows you to open a website when a call comes in or goes out or when a call is answered. So Salesforce, for example, I want to pull up the search results that shows me specifically the phone number that I'm talking to. So I can put the search results URL that would show up here across the top and put it into this field, click insert to add phone number to the end of it, and then I save that rule. Now when my next call comes in or goes out, I'm going to have another tab that opens up in Salesforce, and it's going to show me any contacts, leads, or opportunities that have that phone number attached to it, and it allows me to quickly start taking my notes, recording activity, creating cases, whatever that issue might be. So it's just a faster way for you to go ahead and get that information recorded. As an administrator, I also have the administrative capacity to control my phone system from in here. I can go in and I can control the users by adding and removing them. I can send them reset password, emails. I can go into the extensions and I can assign users phone numbers. I can set the flow of the extension like you saw on the actual app itself. All those features I was showing you from the user standpoint, I can control in here as well. I can configure shared line appearance with a simple GUI rather than having to go in on the phone and manually type in all of the additional information for that second extension to show up on a phone. I can quickly go in here, select a phone that I want to share its presence with other users, and once I'm done with that, their phones will reboot and it will come back up online and show their number as line 1 and the other number as line 2. And you have the option to do it as a busy lamp field, so you can just see if they're busy. Or if you want full control of their extension, you can do it as a shared line appearance. So now you actually have 2 different phone numbers that you can make calls from on your phone. And it's very simple to set up doing it this way. Your receptionists, you can go in and edit your virtual receptionist. You can create as many as you need. And you can give them custom names, custom extensions. You can add 1 or more direct phone numbers for its monitor. You can configure your business hours and tell it you want it to run 24 hours a day, or you can configure after hours for your virtual receptionist and instead have it run to a live person during the day or a group of people. If you want to ring a group of people rather than a single individual, you can do that as well. You can also have a manual schedule override in here. So for inclement weather, if you guys are working remotely, but no one's at the office, you can actually enable this feature and tell them no one's in the office due to inclement weather. However, you'll still be able to reach us via phone, however you want to do that. You can also go in here and customize how you want that flow to be. What do you want to have happen when you dial what options? You can also record your virtual receptionist business hours message in here as a custom message. Thank you for calling company A. It says it right here. There's an example. So it's very easy to set this all up. Conference bridging, you don't really need to worry about. That would be for like your Polycom conference room phones. Traditionally, you would have a conference bridge that people could dial into and do an audio. However, on Essentials, you don't really need to worry about that because this shared desktop screen session we're using right now through AWS Chime Pro, you get Chime Pro with every seat on Essentials. So you can do audio and video collaboration, webinars, you can record the sessions, so you can actually go out as a user, set up an appointment, send that out to your users, they can call in, and then you can go into the conference room and simply dial in on that same number, and you're part of that bridge. And then you can hook up your laptop and do a shared desktop session if you want to. Also with Chime Pro, you have the capability to use it as an IT tool so that if your IT department is looking at a shared screen from someone who's having an issue, they can request control and actually fix the problem as well. So it saves you money by not having to pay for GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar, WebEx, TeamViewer, Link, Skype for Business, things of that nature. So we give that to you for free. Call groups, you have the capability to create call groups as well. So if you have a group of people for sales, you can have a group for sales, you can have a group for marketing, a group for HR, et cetera, et cetera. Paging groups just allows you to set up a group of people that you want to send a message through the speakerphone of the phones themselves for people who aren't on call. So if you have a birthday get together in the lunchroom and you're like, hey, we have cake, you can actually send that out as a group over the speakerphone of your Polycom phones or Yealink phones as well. Now, the call queues and recordings and call monitoring, those things will be covered with our SE if you need to. E-faxing, everybody has e-faxing out there. It's pretty common now. Call blocking, you can actually see as the administrator, you can see all of the rules that have been already set up by all the users, and you can modify them or delete them. And with that, if you need to see any additional information on call reporting, things of that nature, we can definitely set that up with our engineer, and he can go through those more advanced features of the reporting, how it works, what it looks like, things of that nature we can set up as we go along. Also in the account system, you can actually look in here and you can actually look at your account details, your company contact information. You can set your multiple 911 locations and modify all of that in here, and you can assign the phones to those 911 locations as well. But with that, that is the end of our demonstration, and I thank you for watching.